Welcome to another movie reading, this time for Requiem for a Dream. Now, I've been meaning to do this for a while, but honestly, this movie is extremely depressing, and I don't recommend it if you're not in a good mood, because it will probably make it worse. Actually, on second thought, if you're in a good mood, don't listen to this either. Before we get started, over 95% of people that listen to these movie readings are not subscribed. So if that describes you and you like these, please do so. Also leave a comment with any other movie reading you would like to hear. I've been doing a lot of comment requests lately, and I'm sure to not stop soon. I hope you enjoy this one. Requiem for a Dream. Screenplay by Hubert Selby Jr. and Darren Aronofsky. Based on the novel by Hubert Selby Jr. We fade in. On the TV is Happy Tibbins, America's favorite television personality. His charismatic personality shines for the entire world to see. His audience cheers wildly. Juice by Tappy, juice by Tappy, juice by Tappy. Ooh, Tappy's got juice, Tappy's got juice. Oh, Tappy. Thank you very much. Today's winner is a flight attendant from Washington, D.C. Will you please welcome Mary? Suddenly the plug is pulled. The TV flickers off. We then cut to Harry Goldfarb, young 20s, is an eccentric kid with a seductive smile. He tries to stop his mother, Sarah Goldfarb, from locking herself in the closet. Ma, come on, Ma. Harold, please. Not again, the TV. She slams the door closed, and Harry talks to the shut door. Why do you have to make such a big deal out of this, eh? You know you'll have the set back in a few hours. No answer. Why do you gotta make me feel guilty? Harry walks across the room to the early 80s TV with ridiculous rabbit ears. Sarah locks the door and retreats to the back of the closet. Harry starts to push the set on its stand when suddenly it jerks and almost falls. Harry spies a thick bicycle chain going from around the TV to the radiator. Jesus, what are you trying to do, eh? You trying to get me to break my own mother's set or break the radiator? Harry marches to the closet. And maybe blow up the entire house? You trying to make me a killer? Your own son? Your own flesh and blood? What are you doing to me? Your own son? Then a thin key slowly peeks out from under the closet door. Harry works it out with his fingernail and yanks it up. Why do you always gotta play games with my head, for Christ's sake? Don't you have any considerations for my feelings? Why do you have to make my life so difficult? And then, meekly from the closet. I wouldn't. The chain isn't for you. The robbers. Then why didn't you tell me? The set almost fell. I could have had a heart attack. Sarah shakes her head in the darkness. You should be well, Harold. Then why don't you come out? Harry tries to open the locked closet door but can't. See what I mean? See how you always gotta upset me? Harry walks to the TV, unlocks the chain, and starts to wheel the TV toward the front door. He pauses by the closet. Ma? Ma, come on out, please, Ma. No response. Inside, Sarah hugs her knees, and then he throws up his hands and mumbles. Screw it. He pushes the set carefully out of the apartment. In the closet, Sarah hears the door shut. She mumbles to herself. It's not happening, and if it should be happening, it would be all right. So don't worry, Seymour. It'll all work out. You'll see already. In the end, it's all nice. We smash cut to black and Requiem for a Dream. Waiting for Harry is Tyrone C. Love, young 20s, leaning against the wall, playing skillfully with a yo-yo. Taking his time, Tyrone helps Harry wheel the set to the dingy elevator. Shit, This mother's starting to look a little seedy, man. What's the matter? You particular all of a sudden? Hey, baby. I don't care if it's growing hair, just so's we gettin' our braid. Lining the front of the building is beach chairs, 10 female yentas absorbing the sun and passing judgment on Harry. Harry says hello and is greeted by a chorus of fake, sarcastic hellos in return. Harry and Tyrone carefully navigate the TV through the streets of the old Brooklyn neighborhood. They go under the elevated train, past the giant dying projects across the boardwalk, and beneath the shadows of the towering parachute jump, and through the cracking and boarded-up amusement park. On the screen, white letters. Summer. Old and squat Mr. Rabinowitz shakes his head as Harry and Tyrone push the set into his store. He stands behind a cage of bulletproof glass with all of the pawnshop's possessions. So look, the table too already. Hey, what do you want from me? I can't schlep it on my back. You got a friend. Hey man, I ain't my leper's schlepper. Harry chuckles. Such a son, a gonif. Your mother needs you like a moose needs a hat rack. The pawn shop owner clucks his tongue and slowly counts out the money. We then see a quick montage. A lighter flicks. Liquid on a spoon sizzles. A tourniquet snaps. Needle sucks. Hand slaps vein. A thunderous rush of liquid. And finally an ecstatic sigh. Tyrone's pad is run down, but it'll do. Tight on Harry's back, spinning a record on the turntable and halting the beat. Then he lets the other turntable spin and start a new tune. Shit, that's some boss skag, man. I mean dynamite. Yeah, man, something else. Harry calmly watches the record spin. Tyrone and Harry sit at the counter of an all-night donut shop, sipping hot chocolate and eating chocolate crullers. You know what we ought to do, man, huh? We ought to get a piece of this Brody shit and cut it and off it, you dig? This stuff's good enough to cut in half and still get you wasted. We could double our money, easy. That's right. And then we buy a couple of pieces and we got something else going, man. It sure would be righteous. In no time we get a pound of pure straight from Sal the Geep. No hassles, that's all I want, no hassles. Just then, a hulking cop sits down on the stool next to Harry. Tyrone and Harry both fall silent and slowly sip their hot chocolates. Harry looks down at the cop's gun. It's maybe 6 inches from his hand. Slowly, he reaches over and undoes the safety latch on the cop's holster. Tyrone's eyes fill with fear. The waitress comes over and gives the cop his coffee. Can I get you, Just then, Harry yanks the gun out of the holster. The cop spins around and Harry retreats. Hey, hey! Harry smiles as the cop charges. Tyrone snickers. Then Harry tosses the gun over the cop's head. Tyrone catches it. The cop chases Tyrone. Harry and Tyrone laugh as they toss the gun back and forth just over the frustrated cop's head. The cop slips and falls on his ass, and we cut back to reality, 5 minutes earlier. Anything else, huh? Tyrone butts Harry. Harry looks up at the waitress who stares at him. The towering cop looks over as well. Well? No, just the check. The cop returns to his donut. Mr. Rabinowitz shakes his head as Sarah enters. He pulls out a ledger book that is labeled Sarah Goldfarb's TV. Good evening, Mrs. Goldfarb. Good evening, Mr. Rabinowitz, though I'm not sure how good it is. And you? So what can I say? Are you wanting your TV? Yes, if you don't mind. Sarah pulls a crinkled $10 bill out of the corner of her blouse and hands it to Mr. Rabinowitz. Mrs. Goldfarb, can I ask you a question, and you won't be taking it personal? Sarah shrugs. How many years we known each other? He nods his head. Who's to count? Why don't you tell the police already so maybe they could talk to Harry and he wouldn't be stealing no more the TV? Oh, Mr. Abonowitz, I couldn't. Harold's my only child. He's all I have. Sarah chains the TV to the radiator again. She turns on the set, adjusts the rabbit ears, and watches whatever is on. Sarah smiles as she settles into her chairs. She ceremoniously removes the plastic wrapper from around the box of chocolates. Immediately she pulls out the chocolate, covered in cream, and lets it dissolve in her mouth. Her eyes shut in gentle ecstasy. Looking straight up at the 30-story Seacoast Tower, with sharp eyes, is Marion. She is beautiful, fresh, and in her young 20s. Harry, with a stack of newspapers under his arm, comes up from behind and kisses her on the neck. Harry randomly presses one of the countless buzzers. An old lady responds a moment later. "Hello? Who is it?" Harry mumbles into the speaker. He and Marion try to hold their laughter. "Who?" Harry mumbles again. When the buzzer rings on, we're in the elevator. In black and white video, a security camera watches Harry and Marion jump around as they head to the top floor. Harry dips his head out the open doors. All clear. He grabs Marion and they dash to the stairwell, where red, bold warnings on an emergency exit roof door threaten alarm if the door is opened. What do we do now? Harry pulls out a wire from his back pocket and shorts the alarm. Then he kicks the roof door open. White light rushes in. Sarah's living room. Her phone is ringing, and Sarah leans toward it, but she continues to adjust the rabbit ears on her set, torn between the priority of the two activities. Finally, 4 rings later, she lunges for the phone and flops down in her viewing chair. She is greeted by a cheery voice. "Hello? Mrs. Goldfarb? Mrs. Sarah Goldfarb?" "It's me, speaking." The voice is so enthusiastic that she looks over to the TV to see if it's coming from there. "Mrs. Goldfarb, this is Lyle Russell from Malin and Block." "I'm not interested in—" "Wait, Mrs. Goldfarb, I'm not selling anything. Nothing. I just want to offer you a chance to be on television." "Television?" "That's right, Mrs. Goldfarb." "Look, I don't have any—" "I'm not looking for money, Mrs. Goldfarb. I'm calling you to tell you you've already won. Your name was selected from a long list of available contestants. You've been chosen, and you now have an opportunity to be on television." "Me on television?" Sarah's eyes light up. "That's right, Mrs. Goldfarb. You on television." "I never thought I'd be on television. I'm just a—" Malin and Block discovers contestants from most of America's favorite television shows. "Oh, me? I can't." "Yes, Mrs. Goldfarb, you. Congratulations." "I can't tell you why you're so lucky, but you are. Congratulations." Sarah falls against the back of the viewing chair. One hand clutches desperately at the phone, the other on top of her dress. Her eyes bulge. Her mouth hangs open. "You will receive all necessary information in the mail, Mrs. Goldfarb. Goodbye, and God bless." Click. Sarah tries to catch her breath. She awakens from her ecstasy when the phone beeps its off-the-hook sound. Sarah picks up a framed photo. The picture was taken on Harry's high school graduation day years ago. Harry, in the middle, is an 18-year-old in cap and gown. Sarah's husband, Seymour, hovers over Harry's left shoulder. On Harry's right is a younger-looking Sarah. She is 30 pounds lighter, has brilliant red hair, and wears a red dress and gold shoes. Sarah stares at her outfit. Then, she rushes to the closet. As she hums a tuneless monotone, she carefully pulls out the last dress on a hook. She ceremoniously removes the dry-cleaning plastic and smiles at her red dress. She puts it on. In the mirror, she looks over one shoulder and then the other. She tries to zip up the back, but after half an inch and many minutes of exertion, she gives up. On her hands and knees, she searches through mounds of shoes for the special pair. She pulls out the gold shoes and dusts them off. Shakily, Sarah puts them on. She smiles at herself in the mirror. Harry and Marion throw paper airplanes down on the dying amusement park. But why are you so hard on your folks? I mean, they give you the bread for rent, money for the shrink. They bug me. They're fucking hypocrites. Harry shrugs. No big deal. Like, they're in that big house with all their cars and money. They pay me off so they don't have to deal with me. They pay for charities to deal with their racism. Then we'll see how liberal they are when I come home with a black guy. You know what you gotta do. Yeah? You gotta get away from them. How? What about your clothes? Maybe you could sell them, open a store. I can't. Why? When will I have time to hang out with you? A deserved kiss. Sarah, barely wearing her red dress, knocks on a door. Ada, an orange-haired woman Sarah's age, answers the door. So, where's the party? Party schmarty. This is like all the parties. When I tell you, you'll jump out the window. A basement window, I hope. Ada tries to stuff Sarah into her red dress, but it ain't happening. Well, I have a great diet book. Zoftic. Marion grabs Harry's short-circuit wire. Harry, who's already inside, looks at his girl's mischievous eyes. Marion? Harry gets it. He smiles, and then Marion yanks the wire. The alarm screams. Harry and Marion bolt to the top floor, where both elevators charge the top floor. They're coming! Harry grabs Marion's hand and pulls her down the hallway. Dead end. Harry and Marion squeeze against the doorway, fighting the urge to crack up, and then... Ping! The elevator. A security guard charges out. Harry and Marion hold their breath. The guard heads straight for the staircase. Then our criminals charge the elevator, and in black and white video, make out all the way down. Then Harry and Marion burst out the front door laughing, alarm ringing behind them. We see a mailbox open, and Sarah disappointedly peers into the empty darkness. Sarah sits in her viewing chair watching television and reading her diet book as she slides herself a chocolate. The diet book is called 10 Pounds in 10 Days. She flips through about 100 pages of introduction until she comes to the words, first week. She stares at the page and suddenly becomes concerned. She reaches for a chocolate-covered caramel as we read the page with her. Breakfast, 1 hard-boiled egg, 1 half grapefruit, 1 cup of black coffee, no sugar. Lunch, 1 hard-boiled egg, 1 half grapefruit, 1 half cup lettuce, no dressing. Cup black coffee, no sugar. Dinner, 1 hard-boiled egg, half grapefruit, 1 cup black coffee, no sugar. Drink at least 2 quarts of water each day. Sarah stares and chews her eyes, focus on the words. Number 1 and half. They focus on the repetition of meals. They focus on the insanity, searching for the real information between the lines. She hears a giggle and turns to look at the refrigerator. The fridge tremors slightly, a small mechanical rattle. Defeated, she drops the book and reaches for another chocolate. Her head begins to hang, and tears begin to well up in her eyes, and then she notices something on the television. Now, let's meet our next winner. Straight from Brighton Beach, Brooklyn. Let's give a juicy welcome to Sarah Goldfarb. There she is, herself dressed in red, her hair gorgeous red, walking across the screen, so slim, so trim, so sexy. Such curves. This is Red Sarah. Our Sarah's tears fade as her chin lifts and she begins to smile. She watches Red Sarah pose for the television audience. She can hear the applause and the wolf whistles. She puts the chocolates away and lifts up the book. New Hope. Bright summer sun shoots through the window of Marion's apartment and screams across Marion's living room until it slows and falls upon Harry and Marion. They are asleep, fully dressed in each other's arms. The racing sound of the outside midday summer traffic dissipate, and they are alone in a vacuum of melodious heartbeats and deep breaths. Ada strips Sarah's hair with a smelly homemade peroxide concoction at the sink. They're positioned so that they can watch the TV set from the corner of their eyes. Ugh, what a smell! That's the Gowanus Canal? Just relax, Dolly. You got a long way to go. You'll get used to it. Get used to it? I'm almost losing my appetite. They chuckle. When's lunch? Bigger laugh. Sweetie, we're lucky if we're finished before supper. So long? That's right. With you, we're starting from scratch one. I thought I would catch a little sun today. In a box, you'll catch it. You just relax and think how gorgeous you'll look with red hair. Today, the hair. Tomorrow, the sun. Marion straightens up in the kitchen. Harry is spinning some records on his portable turntable. Tyrone plays with his yo-yo. Anybody want to waste some time? Marion pulls out 3 pills. Harry and Tyrone each grab one. Ingestion. Wide shot of the kitchen in time lapse. The next 3-minute scene is actually 3 hours as Harry, Marion, and Tyrone hang out. We listen to them at normal, if not slowly slowed down speed. I'm starving. Yeah, me too. Get me a Snickers. Damn, Ty, don't you eat anything except Snickers? Yeah, Chuckles. I dig Chuckles. You sure as hell don't know anything about eating, man. What you need is some good noodle soup. Shit, Pepsi and Snickers, it'll take care of anything. And maybe some bread. I prefer the type that goes in my pocket, not my mouth. Exactly. Angel told me about a job. In the flash of an eye, Harry changes record after record. Tyrone rolls a joint and Marion lights some candles. A job? What, you lose a bet? Tyrone giggles. Damn, this is a righteous chick, Jim. No, we got this idea. Tyrone has this connection, Brody, with some dynamite shit. If we can get some cash together and we can make a piece, we can cut it up and make a fortune. Soon, we could get a pound of pure and retire. We'd get off Hard Knocks and we'd be on Easy Street. Someone is at the door. Marion answers it and 7 friends pile in. Everyone is in time lapse and everyone is partying. We watch and listen to the evening's festivities until... What's the catch? Suddenly the racing kitchen clock stops. Sarah stares in the mirror, blinking at her ridiculously orange hair. It's nowhere near red. That's red? Well, it's not exactly red, but it's almost. Maybe in the same family. The same family? We're not even distant cousins already. It's a red. It's not red, but a red. Red. You're telling me this is a red? Yeah, I'm telling. It's a red. Then what's orange? If this is red, I don't want to know what's orange. Ada looks at Sarah's hair, and then her reflection, and then back to Sarah's hair, and then back to her reflection. She purses her lips and shrugs. Well, it could be a little orange, too. A little orange? It's a little orange like being a little pregnant. So what's to worry? It'll be all right. What's to worry? Someone may try to juice me. Relax, Dolly. It just needs a little more dye. It'll be all right for television. All day long, I'm getting my scalp scraped and burned and smelling like dead fish, and I look like a basketball. Relax. You should learn to relax. That's your trouble. You don't know how to relax already. I'm telling you, it's all right. Tomorrow, we'll do it again, and you'll look like Lucille Ball. Ada leads Sarah away from the mirror. Post-sex, pre-sleep intimate talk at Marion's apartment. You know something? I've always thought you were the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. Really? Since the first time I met you. That's nice, Harry. That really makes me feel good. Good for your ego, eh? Well, I can't say that it does any harm, but that's not what I mean. It makes me feel good all over. Well, you know, lots of people tell me that, and it's meaningless, completely meaningless. You mean because you think they're putting you on? No, nothing like that. I don't know or care if they are. I guess maybe they really mean it. But from them, it just doesn't mean anything to me. When you say it, I hear it. You know what I mean? I really hear it. Someone like you could really make it all right for me. You think? Yeah, I've been thinking. Harry drifts off, and Marion's interest is sparked. What? Harry looks at Marion. A beat. Then he gets the courage. He jumps out of bed. Here. He pulls Marion. She laughs. What? Harry, in a shirt, stands over Marion, who's wrapped in a sheet. They lean over a folder on the kitchen table. You remember when I told you about the store? Well, I've been thinking about it. I put together some numbers, and it's not impossible. I think we can do it. We should do it. We can do it together. How long have you been thinking about this? Not so long. Since we started hanging out. A pause. Marion thinks. It's a great idea. Yeah? It is. Let's do it. Let's open it in the city. How do we start? Well, first me and Ty gotta get money for the piece, and then I'll get it. Nah. No, I can. Really? How? How do you think? My fucking parents. A laugh, and then they hug and kiss gently. Harry pulls his face back a few inches from Marion's. I think I'm falling in love with you. Think? Tight shots and quick cuts as Harry kisses the tip of Marion's nose, and then her eyelids, and then her cheeks, then her soft lips, her chin, her neck, and lastly, her earlobes. Then he whispers in her ear, Marion, I love you. We fade to blinding white, and then to Sarah's mailbox. We pull out of the white and into Sarah's mailbox. She peeks in, but it's empty. Tight on the kitchen clock ticking normally. On Sarah's breakfast. 1 hard-boiled egg, half a grapefruit, and a mug of black coffee. On the directions in Sarah's diet book. Sarah blinking at her meal. A sigh. We watch as she tries to enjoy her breakfast. After the food is gone, she fills a glass of water. As she sips it, she notices her hand reaching for something more to eat. Tight on the kitchen clock, ticking real slow. Her Timex the same. We see her eyes, her lips, her twitching fingers. A quick glimpse at the fridge. She grabs her stomach and says to it, Stop already, and then to herself, You'll feel better in the red dress than a cheese Danish. Marion throws some cold water on her face. She looks at her naked body in the mirror. She feels lifeless, drab, and dead. Quick cuts of tinfoil crinkling, powder sprinkles, lighter flicks, smoke drifts, straw sucks, a pleasure sigh. Once again, Marion looks in the mirror. Now she's alive and gorgeous. Rays of golden light encase her body in a gentle glow. She cups her hands under her breasts and smiles as she turns and poses, admiring their size and firmness. Not bad, she thinks. Nothing in the mailbox. Sarah tries to watch TV, but the fridge beckons her. Tight on the kitchen clock, slowly ticking. The fridge shudders. Frustrated, Sarah grabs her folding chair and heads out. The outside of the building is lined with old yentas, sitting in beach chairs catching the sun. A few have reflectors and stare up at the sun. Sarah exits her building and lets the sun hit her hair. Her friend Ray says something first. Ada told us. It's gorgeous. Thank you. We're making it a little darker tomorrow. So why darker? To match my red dress. But now it's looking like Lucille Ball. But I'm not. But soon, I'm on a diet. Yes, she is. Cottage cheese and lettuce? No. What diet you want? Eggs and grapefruit. Oy vey. I was on that one. Lots of luck, Dolly. It's not so bad. How long you been on already? All day. All day, it's 1 o'clock. So I'm thinking thin. Now old Miss Scarlini pipes up. My Rosie lost 50 pounds, like that. Almost. Like that? Like what? Poof! You put her in a sweatbox? A doctor. He gave her pills. It makes you not want to eat. So what's so good about that? You mean I'm sitting here not thinking about chopped liver and pastrami on rye? With a slice of onion and mustard. Herring. Herring? Yeah, herring and sour cream. When the sun goes behind the building, I'm having a nosh. You shouldn't talk like that when someone's on a diet. Big deal. I'll sneak an extra piece of lettuce. I'm thinking thin. The mailman. Just then the mailman arrives. Sarah picks up her chair and follows him into the building. Ada, Ray, and the other yentas follow Sarah. Goldfarb, Goldfarb! I know you have something for Goldfarb. Let's see. Not much around here except at the beginning of the month with the Social Security checks. But I'm expecting something. Here we go. Something for Goldfarb. He hands her a thick manila envelope. The yentas follow Sarah into the apartment. Yenta number 2 flips on the TV. Someone else starts a pot of coffee. So, let's see. Open it, open it. Sarah carefully opens the envelope. She takes out a questionnaire. So when do you go on? They decide after sending you this form. Oh, it's so exciting. The other women murmur their excitement too. Ada takes the application from Sarah and places it on the table. Okay, you sit, Dolly, and just answer the questions. Sarah, a bit nervous, sits down. Ada gives her a pencil and leans over her shoulder. The yentas crowd around. Name? Easy enough. Sarah Goldfarb. You call that a question? That kind I take 6 at once. The yentas laugh as Sarah carefully prints her name. Address. A breeze. Sarah fills out question after question until... Uh-oh. What? Date of birth. So now we're getting personal. Okay, I'll tell you. She fills it in. Age? So now you want me to count for you? Marital status? Wanting, needing. How about if I win Robert Redford? A big laugh. Sex? A bigger laugh. Please? The biggest. That's it, Dolly. Sarah holds the paper against her chest and says a short prayer. The yentas respect her silence. She carefully folds it and places it in a self-addressed envelope. She seals it and holds the flap down for many seconds. Then she puts it on her chair and sits on it, just to make sure it's sealed. Next, she tosses her head and shoulders at the refrigerator and says to it, Who needs ya? Sarah marches out of the building waving the envelope. The yentas follow their friend. Victorious, they march to the mailbox. I wonder when you'll hear. Maybe they'll send you to the Tavern on Green. That's where they send all the stars. I'm eating eggs and grapefruit at the Tavern on Green. The ladies laugh as they follow their hero, their savior, their victor. Suddenly, the envelope begins to glow. It glows a brilliant white. At the mailbox, Sarah kisses the envelope and drops it into the mail slot. She closes the lid and then opens it to make sure it has dropped into the box. Then the ladies huddle around Sarah as the blue mailbox begins to radiate and bathe them in cool blue light. The yentas. Ooh. Ah. Tyrone is on the phone with Brody's henchman. Harry sits at the table counting 20s into a small, neat pile. Dynamite! 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 All right, we's on the way. Tyrone hangs up. Brody's man says it's real fine shit. All right, here we go. Here we go. Let's do this right. Naturally. Tyrone takes the money and slaps Harry's 5. Tyrone leaves. Harry spins some vinyl, rolls a joint, sparks it, and takes a few pokes. He starts grooving with the music as his nervousness dissolves. Then something is off. Harry feels it. He stops the turntable. Suddenly, it's a sunny day in Tyrone's bedroom. The back wall is gone, and stretching into the sea is the Coney Island pier. Now, strolling with a baby carriage is a woman in a red dress. It's Marion. Harry watches her from Tyrone's apartment. He calls for her, but she keeps going. He chases after her. He's trying to get a glimpse into the carriage. Finally, Marion hears him and she spins around. She smiles and waves. She reaches into the carriage to pick something up. Harry is almost with her. He keeps running. Just as he's about to get a peek, he stops and hears a key in the lock. We spin around, and Tyrone enters the room with a big-ass, shit-eating grin on his face. He drops a little package on the table. There it is, Jim. Huh? There it is. Harry snaps out of it, and he looks at the package. Shall we try? Wait, Ty. This is our chance to make it big, and I mean really big. We don't have to be dealing in no petty-ass peace all our lives. We play it right, and we can get a pound of pure. But if we get wasted, we'll fuck it up. Right on, baby. I'm not jiving you. I don't want to be running no streets the rest of my life in no ripped sneakers, my nose running down my chin. All we gotta do is have a little taste so we know how much to cut it. Fair enough. Palms slap, and then flick, sizzle, snap, suck, slap, rush, sigh. And flick, sizzle, snap, suck, slap, rush, sigh. Tyrone and Harry look at each other with flushed faces and hanging heads. They grin at each other. Shit. Then they laugh and laugh and laugh. Marion sits in front of the Wonder Wheel watching the summer crowd play. She unpacks the shopping bag next to her. She pulls out some sketch pads, pencils, charcoal, and a sharpener. She stares at the blank page. A moment later, she begins to sketch. Sarah sits in her apartment chair, trying to watch TV. But she can't concentrate. The kitchen clock ticks terribly slowly. So does her Timex. Everywhere she looks in the room, steaming hot food appears. Over there by her plants is a bacon double cheeseburger. Then over there by the lamp is a chocolate-covered eclair. She grabs a glass of water and downs it. She turns to the fridge. It shudders at her. She screams at it. Shut up! Suddenly the fridge door becomes transparent, and she can see all the produce in her stuffed fridge beckoning her. She turns away and goes into the bedroom. She flips off the light and tries to sleep. She closes her eyes, but they pop open, and then slowly her beige ceiling disappears and turns into a clear blue sky with puffy white clouds. Then it dissolves into a sizzling, juicy pizza pie. Sarah twists and turns. Then the pie turns into a chocolate-covered cherry. Then it becomes a bagel, smothered with lox onions and crowned with a healthy slice of tomato. There's no hope. Sarah sits up in her bed and reaches for the phone. She dials. Louise, it's Sarah. I need the number of that doctor. On Harry, looking hollow in Marion's apartment. Why do you have to see him, for Christ's sake? Cut the son of a bitch loose. Marion is dressing herself up in front of the mirror. She looks like $1,000,000 in a chic black dress. She carefully applies her lipstick. I don't want him mentioning to my parents that I have stopped therapy. They're already pissed at me and they're thinking of cutting me off. Marion turns and touches Harry's face tenderly. Sweetheart, I'm not going to sleep with him. He's got some issue with womanly blood, so I told him I'm on the rag. He's planning on getting home after the concert. Harry tries not to sulk, but his chin dips. Then Marion chuckles, but Harry doesn't respond. Suddenly, she shrugs him and squeals with absolute glee. Oh, Harry, you're jealous. Harry half-heartedly tries to push her away, but Marion doesn't let him. Come on, sweetheart. Put your arms around me. Come on, please, please. She lifts his hands and puts them on her shoulders as she snuggles deeper into him. Then she starts kissing him on the ears, eyelids, and neck. Soon he starts to giggle. Come on, stop, you crazy girl, or I'll bite you on the throat. They laugh as they tickle each other and cover each other in kisses. Raoul's Café. A fancy French pretension. 2 plates of frog legs, 2 glasses of Cinzano with twists, and a stunning Marion with a dumpy Arnold the Shrink. I'm disappointed that you are indisposed. Is Anita out of town or something? Why do you ask? I'm just curious if she's indisposed. Marion? No, she's fine. Can I ask you something personal, Arnold? What is it? Arnold leans in, and then she fucks with him. She tells him he's got something on his face when he doesn't. She tortures him until all she can do is laugh. Sodium streetlight pops as Tyrone cold lamps by a beat-up bodega. A black hand slaps Tyrone money. The money slides into his pocket. Tyrone's eyes swish left and then right. He slips something out from behind the tire of a parked car and slaps a bag of white powder back. Pop, slap, slide, swish, slip, slap, again, and again, and again. Neon crackle as Harry chills outside an OTB. A white hand slaps Harry money. The money slips into his pocket. Harry's eyes swish right then left. He clinks something out of a trash can. He then slaps a bag of white powder back. Crack, slap, slip, swish, clink, slap. Again and again and again. Harry spins Marion around. We're on our way, baby. We're really on her way. Harry, it was great out there. Everyone is thirsty. I'm so glad. And baby, I'm drawing again. I'm drawing. I can't stop. Marion takes out her sketchbook. She shows him her sketches. Harry and Marion lean into each other, suddenly hugging each other, kissing, dreaming, and believing. Dr. Pill's examining room. A skinny nurse weighs and measures Sarah. How are you? Fine. That's why I'm here. They both laugh. The nurse takes Sarah's blood pressure. How's your hearing and vision? I have both. The nurse laughs again. Now, wait just a minute. The nurse smiles and leaves. A moment later, Dr. Pill enters. He looks at the chart the nurse filled out, and then he smiles at Sarah. I see you're a little overweight. A little? I have 50 pounds I'm willing to donate. We can take care of that, no problem. Hip-hop mini montage. Tight shots of dope being cut, plastic bags being filled, Tyrone and Harry dealing. Marion sketching and sewing. Harry and Marion kissing. Harry spinning tunes, flick, sizzle, snap, suck, slap, rush, sigh and crinkle, sprinkle, flick, drift, suck, sigh. Harry and Tyrone neatly stuff a shoebox full of money. They put a rubber band around the box and hide it in the back of the closet. Harry gives Tyrone 5. Tyrone gives Harry 5. An empty store during the day. In photographs, a straight real estate agent shows Harry and Marion around the empty store. Outside, the agent snaps a photo of the lovers in front of the store. We cut to Sarah's kitchen. On the table in front of her are 4 bottles of pills and the instructions. Purple in the morning, red in the afternoon, orange in the evening. She says to the refrigerator, "That's my 3 meals, Mr. Smarty Pants." And then to herself, "Green at night." Just like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. She pops a purple. A pill cap pops off. Pill hits hand. Mouth gulps. Pill cap snaps on. Then she heads to the fridge and makes herself a smoked fish and cream cheese sandwich on an onion Kaiser roll. She shows off to the fridge as she devours it. Then she makes a cup of coffee. An empty pot tinkles into place. The coffee perks. The coffee drips. And then Sarah slurps, slurps, slurps. She picks up the remote and flips on the set, but she can't seem to sit down, so she heads outside with her chair. She peeks in for anything to the mailbox. Nothing. Marion and Harry play skee-ball. Marion hits a 50 and smiles. Harry stops playing. "Yeah, that's what I'll do." "Huh?" "For my mom. I've been thinking of getting something for her, some kind of present, but I don't know what to get." "Well?" I finally asked myself, what's her fix? Television, right? If ever there's a TV junkie, it's the old lady. I figure I owe her a new one anyway with all the wear and tear her set got from being schlepped back and forth to old Abe's. You really love her, don't you? I don't know. I guess so. One time I feel one way and the other time I feel something else. Most of the time I just want her to be happy. Let's go get it now. Well, come on. I don't want to deal with salesmen. Oh, come on. Gets an idea. Let's push off first. It's still early. We shouldn't get going until tonight. Yeah, I know, but this is different. After all, I was always using the old lady's set to cop money, so now we'll use a little stuff to get her a set. Marion doesn't fight him. Then there's a flick, sizzle, snap, suck, slap, rush, and sigh. And crinkle, sprinkle, flick, drift, suck, and sigh. Inside Sarah's apartment, the coffee tinkles, perk, drip, slurp, 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 and pill, pop, hit, gulp, snap. Sarah starts to clean the apartment. Time races by as she intricately cleans every single square inch of the kitchen. She cleans the inside of the fridge and dumps all the food. Next, she moves into the living room and continues to clean, and then everything slows down. Sarah collapses into her viewing chair in front of the TV. She tries to watch, but she's squirming in her seat. She notices something wrong. She's not sure what, so she heads into the bathroom. In the mirror, she stares at her clenched teeth grinding. She wonders what this means. She shrugs and takes the green pill. Pop, hit, gulp, snap. Back to the living room, Sarah sits in front of the TV and watches Happy Tibbins preach. Slowly, she dozes off. Tyrone's old pad has been spruced up. It's filled with tons of cool toys. It's like Christmas morning. Beautiful and very young Alice lies naked on the giant bed, staring at Tyrone. He sits naked at his desk, playing with flip books. First there's a wacky duck dancing. Then there's a crying GI soldier. "Why don't you come back to bed, honey?" "Shit, plenty of time for that, woman. I got my cool-ass toy I'm grooving behind." Tyrone picks up another flipbook and lets things rip. The animation suddenly turns into live action, and we are following the back of a little boy. The boy runs across a black room into the arms of a beautiful woman. The boy is Tyrone, and the woman is Tyrone's mother. I told you, Ma, one day I'd make it. You don't have to make anything. You just gotta love your mama. The image of the boy and mother dies when the flipbook ends. Tyrone looks at it sadly. What are you doing, honey? Thinking about you, baby. What I'm gonna do to you. Tyrone leaps into the bed, and Alice squeals playfully. Don't do that, Tyrone. You'll scare me to death. Oh, little mama, I wouldn't want to scare you. I don't want to scare nobody. All I want from life is no hassles and some peace and harmony. And I want it from the finest fox that ever lived. Sarah's mailbox is still empty. Pop, hit, gulp, snap, and tinkle. Perk, drip, slurp, slurp, slurp. The Yentas all rise when Sarah comes out, and they move their chairs so that she can have the proper seat in the sun. Sarah, you know yet when? Are you hearing anything? Nothing yet. You can bring friends? How should I know? They should let you bring at least a schlepper. Who's going to carry home all those prizes? Believe me, I'll get them home. Especially Robert Redford. For him, I don't need a schlepper. But Sarah is having a hard time sitting still. She looks up and down the street for the mailman and paces around her friends. They watch her with a bit of concern. Then Mrs. Scarlini comes out of the building for sunning. Sarah grabs her and hugs her. I love you forever. I can't believe it, but I'm not even thinking of food. If you put down a big bowl of chicken noodle soup, I won't eat it. Thank you so much, Rosie. Thank you. Alice and Tyrone make some crazy love. Arms flail, teeth bite, mouths scream. Some crazy love. Sarah stands in front of the mirror trying on a red dress. The dress won't close. Pop, hit, glub, snap. The red dress gets a little closer, and a little closer. Harry squirms in the back seat of a cab wearing a sharp new pair of slacks, a sports shirt, and a pair of new shoes. He nervously pats down his hair and adjusts his collar. The Yentas all admire Sarah's slim figure until the mailman approaches. Everyone turns to him hoping. He grins and shakes his head. When I see it, I'll be waving it all over the place. The mailman enters the building. A cab pulls up. Harry steps out. He stares at the intimidating line of Yentas. Sarah stares for a brief second, not computing this apparition. Then she jumps up and wraps her arms around him, almost knocking him off balance. Harry! She kisses him, and he kisses her. She's so excited, she kisses him again. Hey, take it easy, Ma, you'll crush me. He gives her a quick smile as he adjusts his clothes. Come inside, Harry. I'll make you a pot of coffee, and we'll have a visit. She grabs his hand and heads to the entrance. Sarah makes a pot of coffee as she bustles around grabbing cups, saucers, spoons, milk, and napkins. Harry stares wide-eyed at his hyperactive mother. He tries to get a word in, but can't. So, how are you, Harry? You're looking so good. You want something to eat? No, Ma. A little nosh, maybe, or cake? I'll go get some if you want, but I don't have anything in the house, but Ada will have something, a cupcake maybe. No. Finally, the coffee is ready, and she fills 2 cups. You want to eat something? He almost screams. No, Ma, nothing. Sit. Sit, for Christ's sake. You're making me dizzy. You notice something? You notice I'm slimmer? Yeah, I guess you are, Mom. 25 pounds. You believe it? 25 pounds, and that's just the beginning. That's great, Ma. That's really great. I'm really happy for you. But sit down, eh? Sarah sits. Harry is bewildered. I'm sorry I haven't been around for a while, Ma, but I've been busy, real busy. Sarah nods as she clenches her jaw. You got yourself a good job? You're doing well? Yeah, Ma, real good. What kind of business? I'm sort of a distributor, like, for a big importer. My own. Oh, I'm so happy for you. Sarah gets up and smothers Harry with kisses. Hey, Ma, easy, eh? You're killing me. Christ, what have you been doing, lifting weights? Your own business. Oh, Harry, I knew when I saw you that you had your own business. I always knew you could do that. He smiles. Yeah, Ma, you were right. I made it, just like you said I would. So now maybe you'll meet a nice girl and have a baby? I already met one. Sarah squeals and squeaks and starts to jump out of her chair. Harry folds his arms up in front of him. Jesus Christ, Ma, don't go apeshit, eh? Is she a nice girl? Who's her parents? What? You know her, Ma, Marion. Marion Silver, remember? Oh, Silver, of course. I know, Manhattan Beach. He's got a house on the Esplanade. Garment business. Yeah, he's big in women's undies. Harry chuckles. Sarah is so happy. She can't stay sitting. She refills their cups. Before you go bouncing all over again and make me forget, what I want to tell you is I got you a present, and... Harry, I don't want a present, just have a baby. Later for that, eh? Will you let me tell what I got for you, will you? Sarah nods, grins, grinds, and clenches. Christ, you're really something else today. Look, I know... Well, what I'm trying to say is, well, I know I ain't being the best son in the world. Ah, Harry, you're a good... No, please, Ma, let me finish. I'll never get it out if you keep interrupting me. I'm sorry for being such a bastard. I want to make it up. I mean, I know I can't change anything that's happened, but I want you to know I'm sorry, and I love you, and I want to make it right. Harry, I don't know why I do these things. I don't really want to do them. It sort of happens, I guess. I don't know. It's all kind of goofy somehow, but I really do love you, Ma, and I want you to be happy. So I got you a brand new TV set, and it's going to be delivered in a couple of days from Macy's. Sarah squeals, but Harry wards her off with his hands. She sits down, grins, and grinds her teeth. Oh, Harry, you're such a good boy. Your father would be so happy to see what you're doing for your poor, lonely mother. Harry leans over and gives her an honest, open, and perfectly beautiful kiss. You see that, Seymour? You see how good your son is? He knows how lonely his mother is living all alone, no one to make her a visit. Harry feels pretty good as he listens to his mother until something puzzles him. He stops hearing his mother, and now he suddenly hears some other strange sound. What is it? He looks around until he looks at his mother. Suddenly he is filled with surprise, disbelief, and confusion. The noise he hears is his mother's teeth grinding tight on Sarah's mouth. Harry leans across the table. Hey, Ma, you dropping uppers? What? You on uppers? Now he's getting angry. You're on diet pills, aren't you? Sarah is suddenly stunned. She's completely bewildered. On? What is on? How come you lost so much weight? I told you I'm going to a specialist. A specialist? What kind of specialist? What kind? A specialist for weight. Yeah, that's what I thought. You're making a croaker for speed, ain't you? Harry, are you all right? She shrugs. I'm just going to a doctor. I don't know from croaker making. What does he give you, Ma? Eh? Does he give you pills? Of course he gives me pills. He's a doctor. Doctors give pills. What kind of pills? What kind? A purple one, a red one, an orange? No, I mean what kind? They're round and flat. Harry rolls his eyes. I mean, like, what's in 'em? Harry, I'm Sarah Goldfarb, not Albert Einstein. How should I know what's in them? Look, Ma, does the stuff make you feel good, sort of, and give you lots of pep? Well, Yeah, I guess, maybe a little. A little? Jesus, I can hear you grinding your teeth from here. But that goes away at night. At night? When I take the green one, in 30 minutes I'm asleep. Poof, just like that. Harry shakes his head and rolls his eyes. Ma, you gotta cut that stuff loose. It's no good. Who said it's no good? 25 pounds I lost. Big deal. Do you want to be a dope fiend for Christ's sake? What's this dope fiend? Am I foaming at the mouth? He's a nice doctor. Ma, I'm telling you, this croaker is no good. How come you know so much? How come you know more about medicine than a doctor? I know, Ma. Believe me, I know. You'll get strung out for Christ's sake. Come on, I almost fit in my red dress, the one I wore at your high school graduation, the one your father liked so much. I remember how he looked at me in that red dress. It's not long after that he got sick and died, and you were without a father, my poor baby. But thank God he saw you happy for a little. What's with the red dress? What is that? I'm gonna wear the red dress on, Oh, you don't know! I'm going to be on television! I got a call and an application and... Come on, Ma, who's pulling your leg? I'm telling you, I'm being a contestant on television. They haven't told me when, but you'll see. You'll be proud when you see your mother in red dress and gold shoes on television. What's the big deal about being on television? Those pills will kill you before you even get on, for Christ's sake. Big deal? You drove up in a cab. You see who had the sun seat? You notice your mother in the special spot getting the sun? You know who everybody talks to? You know who's somebody now? Who's no longer just a widow in a little apartment who lives alone? I'm somebody now, Harry. Everyone likes me. Soon millions of people will see me and like me. I'll tell them about you and your father. I'll tell them how your father liked the red dress and how good he was to us. Remember? Harry nods. Defeated, he stares at the floor. And who knows what I might win? A new refrigerator, a Rolls Royce, maybe? Robert Redford? Robert Redford? So what's wrong with Robert Redford? Harry blinks and shakes his head. Bewildered, he surrenders to her flow. Sarah looks at her entire family, and a softness overtakes her. It's not the prizes, Harry. It doesn't make any difference if I win or lose. It's like a reason to get up in the morning. It's a reason to lose weight so I can be healthy. It's a reason to fit in the red dress. It's a reason to smile already. It makes tomorrow all right. Close to Harry. What have I got, Harry? Why should I even make the bed or wash the dishes? I do them, but why should I? I'm alone. Seymour's gone, you're gone. I have no one to take care of. Anybody. Everybody. What do I have? I'm lonely, Harry. I'm old. Harry fidgets. His eyes blink. He tries. You've got friends, Ma. What? It's not the same. You need someone to make for. No, Harry, I like how I feel this way. I like thinking about the red dress and the television and your father, and now when I get the sun, I smile. I'll come visit, Ma. Now that I'm straight, my business is good, I'll come, me and Marion, honest. Ma, I swear, we'll come for dinner soon. Sarah shakes her head and smiles at Harry, trying hard to believe. Good. You bring her, and I'll make your soup and a roast. That sounds great, Ma. I'll give you a call ahead of time, okay? Good. I'm glad. I'm glad you got a nice girl and a good business. I'm glad. Sarah gets up and hugs Harry, tears welling in her eyes. Your father and I were always wanting only the very best for you. I'm glad, Harry, that you have someone to be with. You should be healthy and happy and have lots of babies. Don't have only one. It's no good. Have lots of babies. They'll make you happy. Harry does his best to hug his mother. He fights his desperation to get away and holds on to her. Eventually, Sarah backs away and looks into his face, smiling. Look, I'm crying already. I'm so happy I'm crying. He forces a smile. I'm glad you're happy, Ma. I really love you. And I'm sorry. Sarah waves his apology away. Tosh tosh. I really am. But I'm gonna make it up to you now. You should just be happy. Don't worry about me. I'm used to being alone. A long, silent beat as child and parent smile at each other. Harry looks at his watch. I gotta go, Ma. I have an appointment in Manhattan in a little bit. But I'll be back. Good. I'll make for you. You still have your key? He shows her. Yeah, I got it, Ma. I'd better hurry. I'm late now. Goodbye, son. One more kiss and hug, and Harry is gone. Sarah stares at the door for many long moments. Then she takes her orange pill. Pop, hit, glup, snap, and washes it down with a fresh cup of coffee. Harry sits in the back seat, filled with worry and concern. Tears well up in his eyes until he can't hold it any longer. He sobs hard, real hard. A moment later, he collects himself and gets high. Flick, sizzle, snap, suck, slap, rush, sigh. Harry wipes away his tears. Sarah zips up the red dress. It closes. She swings around gloriously, and her locked jaw smiles at herself in the mirror. Her eyes glow. She begins to waltz by herself, humming. On the screen in white letters, Fall. Tyrone steps into a white limo with leopard skin upholstery. He exchanges fives with Brody, late 20s, bespectacled, highly intelligent looking, and his two henchmen. Brody doesn't speak. He signs to henchman number 1. Brody says you coming up quick, kid. Thanks, Brody. The henchman signs back, and then Brody responds. Brody wants to promote you. He wants to give you some more responsibility. Are you interested? Yeah. Brody say you fuck him, I'll kill you. I wouldn't do that, Jim. Just then, Tyrone notices the driver's door is open. Tyrone points. What the? Brody spins just when a white gunman leans in through the driver's door with a 9mm Glock. Bang, bang, bang. 3 bullets rip through Brody's body. Blood and guts splatter Tyrone, and Brody's dead body collapses into his lap. The henchmen pull out their pieces and return fire. One henchman gets splattered. The other kills the white man. Tyrone slips and scrambles out of the limo. The white gunman lies dead in the street. Tyrone runs. Frantic with blood all over him, he runs hyperventilating with panic until 2 cops give chase. Sirens and lights. They catch him and slam him against the wall. Cuff wrist 1, cuff wrist 2. In Sarah's apartment, pop, hit, gulp, snap. Sarah's living room is dominated by a gigantic towering black TV. The ominous hulk of technology stares down on Sarah, who sits in her lazy chair, staring at the set's cold, dark screen. Something is wrong. Some coffee. Tinkle, perk, drip, slurp, slurp, slurp. Nothing. So, one more. Pop, hit, gulp, snap. In Marion's apartment, flick, sizzle, snap, suck, slap, rush, sigh. Crinkle, sprinkle, flick, drift, suck, sigh. Harry and Marion lean against each other on the floor. They stare up at the ceiling. Sketches and pieces of Marion's clothing lie around them. Oh, Harry, I love you. You make me feel like a person, like I'm me and I'm beautiful. You are beautiful. You're the most beautiful woman in the world. You're my dream. Pop, hit, gulp, snap. Sarah sits still. She feels nothing. Coffee, tinkle, perk, drip, slurp, slurp, slurp. Still nothing. She picks up the bottles of pills from Dr. Pill and examines the labels. She looks really close. Then she calls Dr. Pill. Skinny nurse off screen. Doctor's office. Hello, this is Mrs. Goldfarb? No, Mrs. Goldfarb, I'm absolutely certain I've checked again. Are you sure you didn't give me the wrong pills? No? But maybe you gave me a smaller one last time. That isn't possible, Mrs. Goldfarb. You see, they're all the same potency. The change is in the color. All the purple are the same strength, all the red, etc. But something isn't the same. You're just becoming adjusted to them. At first, you get a strong reaction, but after a while it wears off and you just don't feel like eating. It's nothing to worry about, Mrs. Goldfarb. Click. Sarah stares at the phone and slowly hangs it up. She drops 2 pills in her hand. She stares at both pills, shrugs, and pops them. Pop, hit, gulp, snap. Then a small grin invades her face. Something is happening. She flips on the TV to Tappy Tibbins. Now let's meet our next winner. She's a beautiful woman with a winning sense of humor and a magical smile. Straight from Brighton Beach, Brooklyn. Let's give a juicy welcome to Mrs. Sarah Goldfarb. And there she is. Red, red, red. Sarah smiles at Red Sarah. The audience loves her. Juice by Sarah, juice by Sarah, juice by Sarah. Oh, Sarah's got juice, Sarah's got juice. Oh, Sarah. But back in the real world, the fridge shudders. Sarah stares at it, concerned. Tyrone, terrified, holds on to the bars for dear life in the holding tank. Junkies and winos that seem more like ghosts and giant rats taunt him, until... Love, Tyrone C. 735, get your shit together and come on. Harry and Tyrone rap as they scan the streets searching for a connection. They eye other junkies suspiciously. How much? They got most of our cash. You're up for consorting. Shit. Angel says it's a war between the Italians and the blacks. He says Sal the Geep is keeping all the shit down in Florida until guys like Brody are all knocked off. Shit. No one's got a thing. Except Big Tim. Who? He's holding a nice taste. How much? Some say a piece. Others say a truckload. Shit, let's go see him. He's holding, but he's not selling. He's only giving up for pussy. What? The only habit that motherfucker have is pussy. He hooked on that thing. I told him I'd give him all he want, but he say I'm not pretty enough for him. Just then a white van screeches to a halt at the corner in front of them. The side door opens. 2 white guys toss a dead black guy into a city garbage can. The van screeches off. The black guy's sneakers poke up out of the can. Harry and Tyrone turn around and quickly exit the scene. In Marion's apartment. Well, why don't we just stop using? Harry, Tyrone, and Marion stare at each other for a moment. The implication of Marion's question slowly, through much resistance, sinks in and registers. Yeah, I guess we'd better. Sarah's mailbox. Nothing. Pop, hit, gulp, snap. Sarah starts to circle around the lazy chair, tighter and tighter circles. We pan Marion's apartment. We see Harry, Tyrone, and Marion trying to do something. Anything but nothing. But everything is real slow, and every movement is real painful. The kitchen clock is almost moving backwards. We see their eyes, their sweating lips, their twitching fingers. Sarah's mailbox is still empty. Pop, hit, gulp, snap, and again, pop, hit, gulp, snap. Sarah stops pacing. Out of breath, she towers over the phone. She dials 411. Her mouth races after her speed-drenched mind. Welcome to Bell Atlantic. Number, please. Malin and Block, Manhattan. Please hold for your number. Suddenly the fridge shudders. Sarah jumps. Finally, Marion stands up. It's 3 already. We're making a big deal out of nothing. A bit too willing. Yeah, we can stop using. We proved it right now. Harry, it's stupid to panic and think the world's coming to an end just because we didn't score any solid weight. Okay, fine. Flick, sizzle, snap, suck, slap, rush, sigh. Crinkle, sprinkle, flick, drift, suck, and sigh. And then again, flick, sizzle, snap, suck, slap, rush, and sigh. Harry and Marion twist and turn in their bed. The sheets are covered in sweat. Finally, Marion bolts up in bed, gasping for breath. Harry turns on the light. You all right? Must have had a bad dream, I guess. Harry fills a glass of water. He notices that the spot where he normally shoots up his inner arm is sore and red. Marion is still panting when Harry returns with a glass of water. Maybe we should dip in now. It's all we have. Tyrone will score in the morning. It's a bitch out there. It'll be fine, sweetheart. I just know it will. Yeah, I guess. I'll get the stuff. I love you, Harry. Relief, for now. Crinkle, sprinkle, flick, drift, suck, and sigh. Sarah's apartment. Pop, hit, gulp, snap. Sarah downs a cup of coffee and goes to the phone. Out of the corner of her eye, she watches the fridge. She dials a number. Welcome to Malin and Block. If you know your party's extension, please enter it now. For the directory, please press 411. Sarah presses 411. Please enter the last name of the person you are trying to reach. Russell. Lyle Russell. Sarah starts to press the numbers. We're sorry. There's no one in the directory with that name. Please wait for an operator. A moment later, an operator answers. Malin and Block. I'm sorry, but I don't have his name listed in my directory. The television. What television? I don't know. I want to find out. Hold on a second. And then a loud shudder. The fridge is vibrating, and Sarah doesn't know what to do. Can I help you? I want to speak to Lyle Russell. Who is that? He called me and said I was going to be on a show, and... Just a minute. I'll connect you with the programs department. Sarah waits as the phone rings, and the fridge continues to vibrate unnaturally. Can I help you? I want Lyle Russell. Lyle Russell? Are you sure you have the right number? He's putting me on a show. A show? What show? Still on the phone, Sarah slowly walks over to the fridge. I'm afraid I don't understand. If you can't tell me... He called me and said I'm going to be on TV, and he sent me papers. I sent them back a long time ago, and I still don't know when. Oh, I understand. Just a moment. Some more clicks. Sarah can barely stand. As she gets to the fridge, it slowly stops vibrating. Sweat is building. Can I help you? Carefully, Sarah examines the fridge. She's having a hard time talking. Hello? Lyle Russell. Who? Lyle Russell. Are you sure you have the right department? And then suddenly the entire fridge quakes violently. Sarah drops the phone and runs to her bedroom. Hello? Hello? Marion expectantly watches Harry on the phone, and Harry hangs up. Well? Tyrone hasn't found anything. Nothing? Nothing. What are we going to do? I don't know. Well, you have to do something. It's your fault we don't have something for the morning. What are you talking about? You were all hot in the biscuit to get off last night. That's all bullshit. You didn't have to, and we could have had something now. What am I going to do, just sit and watch you push off and not go myself? Then, don't put all the weight on me, that's all, and leave me alone. Pissed beat. I'm going to go meet Ty. Harry and Tyrone open the shoebox. They grab the last cash in it. Don't worry. We'll fill it up again, man. Things will get better soon. Then we'll be putting the bread back in the box. Harry and Tyrone wait by a payphone on an abandoned street corner. I just gotta call my mom. I don't know what to do with her. I'm glad I don't have no one laying that kind of heavy mother shit on me, Jim. Yo honkies are too much with that guilt shit. Christ, you ain't kidding, man. I sometimes think we'd be better off without moms. I don't know, man. My mom died when I was 8, but I remember she was one groovy woman. She had 7 kids, Jim. She was all big, like all the time singing and smiling. She just had a big chest like this. She used to cuddle me, Jim. Oh, I remember how good it felt in there, how sweet she would smell. You know, she'd sing and make you feel good all over, just like dope. Small laugh in the freezing cold. And then the snot-faced dealer rounds the corner and nods to Tyrone. The phone rings. Sarah sticks her head out of the bedroom. She looks at the fridge. It's quiet and still. She sneaks to the lazy chair and flips up the TV and then answers the phone. Hey, Ma, how you doing? Oh, Harry. I wanted to say hello and that I'll visit soon. Suddenly the fridge hops, making a smashing noise. Sarah sinks into her chair. Sarah lets out a small scream. Ma, can you come now for a little while? Ma, I'm tied up. I got a lot of irons in the fire, and I have to be around to take care of them. The fridge hops again. Stop it! Not even a little visit? Please, Harry, come over. Hey, Ma, will you lighten up? Stop playing those guilt games with my head? The fridge shakes and quivers like it's laughing. Please, Harry. Harry takes a deep breath into the phone. Tyrone rounds the corner, smiling. Look, Ma, I don't want to hassle you, okay? I love you, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Harry, it's all confusing and... Harry hangs up, and the two of them rush off. Flick, sizzle, snap, suck, slap, rush, sigh. So, you want to hear the news? What news? The good news and the bad news. Shoot. The good news is that in a couple days, there'll be Prime on the street. Really? Who told you? Angel says Sal the Geep has sent word to let a couple of keys go for Christmas. He's being a good Christian and not wanting anyone to be wanting during this glorious season. You believe it? I didn't until I heard the bad news. Yeah? The price is doubled, and you have to cop for weight. At least half a piece. How much? 2. Fucking insane. What are you gonna do? The man ain't gonna lay no nickel bag on you, that's for damn sure. Where are we gonna get 2? Marion can't believe what Harry just suggested. You mean Arnold? Well, your parents won't even take your call. I haven't seen him in months. So what, he's still calling, ain't he? Yes, but I don't know. Marion stares into Harry's eyes, pleading. Look, I don't know what else to do. This is our last chance to get back on track. We won't have to scuffle and make that freezing scene every day. We need the bread. Getting the bread is not the problem, Harry. Then what's the problem, for Christ's sake? I just don't know what I'll have to do to get it. Harry gets it. Marion gets it. But for Harry, this is too important. He gets down and holds her hand. Look, babe, this is our last chance to get back on track. We'll be back in business in no time. We'll start moving again, and we'll start saving again. It'll happen, Marion. Marion looks at him. Then she gives a gentle nod. Dr. Pill's examining room. Dr. Pill smiles while Sarah looks around wild-eyed. What seems to be the problem? The weight is doing fine. The weight is fine. I'm not so good. The refrigerator... Suddenly she looks around, terrified. Something wrong? Things are all mixed up, confused like. Well, that's nothing to worry about. He scribbles out a prescription. Just give this to the nurse and make an appointment for a week. Now Sarah is alone, staring at the paper. tight on paper. It reads, Valium. Dimly lit cafe. Marion wears a lot of makeup and a long-sleeved blouse. Arnold is worried. No, I've just had the flu forever, it seems like. Are you depressed? No, it's nothing like that. Just been very busy. I've been designing non-stop. That's wonderful. I'm glad to hear you've been productive. He smiles and touches her hand. And to be perfectly straight, I was surprised to hear from you. Is something wrong? No, why? That's usually the case when someone calls whom you haven't heard from in a while. No, everything's fine, but I do have a favor to ask. He smiles and leans back into his chair. His smugness bothers her, so she grabs her fork and stabs it into the back of his hand. Blood spurts out and she screams, You smug son of a bitch! A moment later, everything is back to normal. Marion was just fantasizing. A favor? What is it? I need to borrow some money. In the bedroom, Marion slowly takes off her clothes. She's dying and almost crying. Arnold, big smile, big erection, for him, watches her. May I ask, why? Could you turn off the light? Why do you want the light off? I just do. You never did before. Please, Arnold. Shrugging, he remote controls off the light. Arnold creeps up behind her and starts planting kisses on her. Very gently, she begins to cry. Harry scratches some vinyl. He takes the LP and frisbees it into the wall. It shatters. Then he collapses onto Marion's couch, picks up the remote, and flips on the set. He tries to watch, but he keeps looking at the clock. Then he hears the sound of sex. He looks up on the TV and sees Marion fucking some dude with a hairy back. So Harry lies on the ground and reaches for something under the couch. And then, flick, sizzle, snap, suck, rush, sigh. The image on the set slowly starts to dissolve back into normal TV. Harry, a bit more comfortable, reclines on the couch and nods. At the front door, Arnold, wrapped in a sheet, hands Marion some money. She leaves and he quickly locks the door. Down the hallway and into the elevator, as anger, disgust, and who knows what else, billow up inside her. Her eyes begin to tear, and then she leans against the building on the street and vomits. Marion crawls out of her winter clothes and joins Harry on the couch. They sit on either side of the couch, not looking at each other. Tyrone, in his bikini underwear, stares at a picture of his mom. Alice is gone. He looks at the window. It's nighttime and it's sleeping. Shit. Tyrone starts to get dressed. Pop, gulp, hit, snap. Sarah puts on some makeup. Her hand is not steady and her work is far from perfect. The lipstick is lopsided. The mascara is caked on one set of eyelashes. In the red dress, with very little energy, she spins in front of the mirror. She starts a dumpy version of the waltz, very slowly. Her eyes are sunken and dark-ringed. Flesh hangs from her upper arms and neck. Harry and Tyrone stroll the aisles of a modern supermarket with an empty shopping cart. They eye other customers, most of whom are junkies trying to act nonchalant and make believe they're shopping. In actuality, they're just trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. You dig the action, man? Yeah, I feel like I'm dreaming. I watch your back, you watch mine. What are we supposed to do? I don't know. All they said was to be at Waldbaum's. Just then they round a corner and spot a ponytailed junkie walking into the back loading area, and they follow. Marion impatiently circles her apartment. She's very anxious. Back in the loading area, Harry and Tyrone join a mass of smoking junkies in the back of the supermarket. Everyone is crowded in by the towering boxes of produce and canned goods. Everyone and their mother. A moment later, the steel roll gate starts to open and all the junkies turn to look. Then, an 18-wheeler starts backing into the loading dock. Irving's Florida Oranges is painted on the truck. When the truck stops at the dock, 2 white heavies emerge from the front cab. They wear ski masks and carry glistening machine guns. Sitting behind a table in front of the crates of oranges is a distinguished bald man sporting a white fur coat. He is flanked by 2 other heavies with masks and machine guns. The junkies applaud. The 2 men unload the back of the truck. The bald man pops open 2 steel suitcases on the table. Harry, Tyrone, and all the junkies push forward. The men with guns try to control them. Inside of Marion's apartment, Marion is still circling, starts searching the apartment. She rips open her bureau, she flips through clothes and unknowingly tosses her clothing sketches. They drift to the floor. Harry and Tyrone push their way to the front of the supermarket loading area. A few lucky junkies hand the bald man money and get their dope. The heavies scream at the junkies to calm down, or they're out of here. Then suddenly, Harry spots a gap-toothed junkie pulling a gun. The men with the machine guns see him and pull out their guns. Harry grabs Tyrone and starts to pull him away when suddenly, Gap-Tooth's gun goes off. It hits some oranges behind the bald man. The heavies let loose, bullets everywhere. Harry and Tyrone head for the supermarket in front. Boxes are blowing up around them. The bald man slams the steel suitcases closed and starts pulling the truck door closed. Harry and Tyrone charge into the supermarket with a bunch of other junkies. They rush down an aisle when the ponytailed junkie gets nailed in front of them. He slides across the linoleum, leaving a trail of blood behind him. Harry and Tyrone leap over the dead body and rush outside, just in time to spot the 18-wheeler whiz by. Some of the junkies give chase. Harry thinks about it, but Ty stops him. Instead, they quickly duck out. Tyrone puffs on a cigarette while Harry paces. Stupid fucking junkie. Fucked. We are fucked. That's the last ship for Miles. Motherfuckers going back to Florida sitting on their asses in the sun while we're up in here ass deep in snow. Damn it, what are we gonna do now? Then, Harry has an idea. Hey, what would happen if we went down there to cop? Now you're talking. Sunny FL. Yeah, everybody's up here scuffling to stay alive and getting ripped off or knocked off, and nobody's thought about going right to the fucking source. You're serious? Yeah, why not? What the fuck you talking about? Going up to the motherfucking room clerk at some hotel and asking for a connection? Come on, Ty, get with it. You're telling me we can't nose us some dope when it's around. You're serious? That's here, man. The Apple's my neighborhood. What the fuck I know about Miami? Them motherfucking Italians ain't sitting around just waiting for me to show up, Jim. Dope smells the same there as it does here. Yeah, but it's a long-ass walk, man. Not if you're driving. Look, man, it's colder than hell, and those streets are hotter than a bitch. After tonight, well, guys are getting knocked off like they're giving away season tickets for every dead fiend. That's no life, Jim. Man, we've got nothing to lose. We've got to do it now while we still have a few bucks. If it's such a good idea, why ain't somebody else thought of it? Because they're assholes, and that's just it. Nobody else has thought of it. It's wide open. And if we can get there before anyone else, we can name our own price and sit back and be cool. Have those fools scuffle in the streets for us. Last summer was a ball, Jim. Seems like 1,000 years since last summer. Shit. It'll be back like that. This is the kind of setup you dream about. He starts to give in. You know, Angel can probably get us a short if we promise him some dynamite skag. You think? That motherfucker can dig up anything, even the dead. Sarah peeks her head into the living room. All the shades and curtains are drawn. She quietly tiptoes to the window and peeks out through the side of the shade. Then she tiptoes over to the front door. Very carefully, She removes the tape over the peephole. The hallway is empty. She retapes the peephole. Suddenly the fridge lurches at her. It slides a good foot towards her. She jumps and runs to her viewing chair. Marion rips through her apartment as she searches for something. Anything. She sinks to the floor and she starts to sob. Just then, Harry walks in on her on the floor. "Where have you been? I've been waiting all night." "Where the hell do you think I've been? Where's the score?" "Some dumbass junkie." "Did what? You fucked it up?" "Don't tell me you fucked it up." "I didn't fuck it up. Me and Ty have a plan." "A plan? I don't want another plan. I want my stuff." "What the fuck is wrong with you?" "Me? You promised that everything was going to be okay. I fucked that sleazebag. I put myself through hell for you. So what the fuck do you have for me?" "What do you want from me?" "I don't have anything. Nothing. There's nothing out there." "I don't give a shit, you loser. You fucking loser. I want you to come through for me." "You think I'm playing fucking games, for Christ's sake? You want to have some extra stuff?" Harry calls Tyrone. He grabs the picture of him and Marion in front of the store. "We were hip to a dude that's holding some weight, but he ain't selling." "Yeah? Give me that guy's number, the guy who likes broads." "Big Tim? What for?" "Just give me the number, for Christ's sake." Okay. 934. He worried so goddamn much. Harry hangs up on Ty and hands Marion the number on the back of the photo. "Here, go fix yourself up with him. You won't have to wait for so long, and I won't have to freeze my ass off in the fucking streets." "Fuck you." "No, fuck you." Harry charges out of the apartment. Marion stares after him. We float out of focus. Sarah's apartment. Pop, hit, gulp, snap. The fridge lurches another foot towards her. She grabs the giant remote and flips on the TV. On the set is Tappy Tibbins. "Now, let's meet our next winner." She's a beautiful woman with a winning sense of humor and a magical smile. She's really gonna win your heart. Straight from Brighton Beach, Brooklyn, let's give a juicy welcome to your very own Mrs. Sarah Goldfarb. Red Sarah marches out to applause. "Juice by Sarah! Juice by Sarah!" Thank you. "Oh, Mr. Tibbins, it's Tappy, please." The fridge lurches again. She tries to ignore it and watch TV. "Okay, Tappy. It's a pleasure to be here." "Well, it's a pleasure to have you." "And that is one gorgeous outfit you have." "Oh, thank you, Tappy. I just want to say hi to my husband, Seymour, and to my beautiful, successful son, Harold." "Hello, Harold. I hope you're happy. I hope you're in love. Please come and see me and bring Marion, won't you?" The fridge slides closer. She fights not to look. "Ha ha. I'm sure he'll be here soon. It's time to start now. Are you ready?" "Oh yes, I'm ready. "After you." Tappy motions towards the camera as the audience begins to applaud. And then Red Sarah disappears. Sarah hears something. She looks to her right and sees Red Sarah standing in her living room. Sarah is shocked. "What are you doing?" Red Sarah doesn't answer. She just huffs and humps as she inspects the apartment. "Who are you? What do you want?" Red Sarah continues to ignore her as she looks down her nose at the apartment. And then Red Sarah waves at Tappy Tibbins. "Tappy!" "Oh, I thought you'd never ask. Excuse me, everybody." Tappy disappears from the screen, and now he too is with Red Sarah in Sarah's living room. Sarah sits in her chair, dumbfounded. She starts to get more and more upset as Tappy and Red Sarah laugh at her furnishings and tchotchkes. "What do you expect? I'm all alone." "Could you do better? It's an old building, 10 years, no painting, maybe more." Red Sarah and Tappy walk behind Sarah's chair towards the windows. "I'm old and alone. You don't understand. I'm trying, please. I'll explain. Now Tappy and Red Sarah laugh as they point at the TV. Sarah looks over. On the TV, she sees herself in her viewing chair. A giant fanatic audience surrounds her, laughing and pointing. Then there's a giant crack as Sarah's wall splits apart. Suddenly she's on the television set. 2 TV cameras slide in on her. A makeup artist and a sound man bum rush her. The man tries to put a mic on her while the woman tries to touch up her face. No, leave me alone! The studio audience is going bananas looking at her. Cameras and TV cables stretch across the floor. Then the first assistant director by camera 1 cues her. Ready, Miss Goldfarb? 3, 2, 1. He points at Sarah, and a bright spotlight falls on her. Suddenly, Tappy and Red Sarah lead a cha-cha line around Sarah's lazy chair. Various weirdos, freaks, and girls in bikinis join in. Sarah is terrified. The fridge leaps towards her. She cries into her wrinkled red dress. She sinks into the floor. She crawls to the TV and begs, "Oh, please, please let me on the show. Please, any show, please." The partying gets louder and louder. Red Sarah is French kissing Tappy Tibbins in Sarah's lazy chair. The fridge is only a few feet away from her. "Please feed me, Sarah," Red Sarah says. Tappy joins in. "Feed me, feed me." Now the other freaks in the room and the studio crew. "Feed me, feed me, feed me." And now the audience on the TV is chanting it. "Feed me, feed me." The fridge towers over her. Suddenly metal is tearing, and the fridge has a mouth. Freon sprays out of its opening. The giant metal mouth lurches at Sarah, threatening to bite her. Sarah screams and bolts out of her home, leaving the front door to her abandoned apartment wide open. We cut to black. Winter. Sarah manically marches down the street. The world shoots by her. A train roars by on the elevated tracks up above. Harry and Tyrone ride in a beat-up 1972 Pontiac Ventura 2. Harry drives. Tight on the car tuner. Tyrone spins the dial. Hip-hop blasts on the radio, and then Tyrone turns on the heat. "Thank you, Angel." "I sure hope this mother works. I could use some heat." Ty sparks a joint. "How long will it take?" "We'll make it in a day. Easy." "California, here we come." "It's Florida." "I know, Jim. I just feel like breaking out in a song." Hands slap 5. Harry cringes when Tyrone hits his hand. Sarah sits on the subway of the D train. Her hair sticks to her wet face. She turns to strangers across from her. "I'm going on television. Today I'll find out when." It's New York. Of course, she's ignored. Marion sobs into the phone on her apartment. She shreds the upholstery on the couch. "Florida? Florida? When's he going to be back?" "I don't know, a few days." "Days? What am I supposed to do? You gotta help me." "It's dry." "I can get you money from my parents." "Money means shit." "Please, Angel, please." "It's a drought. I ain't got nothing." "Please, Angel, please." A secretary looks up at Malin and Block, startled. In front of her is Sarah. Sarah's hair and body are wet, and she is wobbly. The secretary stares at Sarah, not knowing what to do. "Why aren't you calling me? I have to know when I'm going to be on television. I'm Sarah Goldfarb, and you should tell me when I'm going to be on television." "Just sit for a moment. I'll ring them." Sarah wobbles to a chair. She's confused and disorientated. Some office women come out from inside the office and huddle around her. Some security guards appear as well. Sarah tries to stand, but she falls over and lands back in the chair. The woman tells her to stay seated. I need to know when maybe you lost my card? Please, Dolly, you'll look and Get her a cup of soup. Tell Mary to call an ambulance. Just relax, Mrs. Goldfarb. Everything will be... It's not the prizes. I'll give them away to the poor. I just want to be on the show. I've waited so long to be on with my Harry and grandson. The secretary returns with a mug filled with soup. Here, Mrs. Goldfarb, sip this. Sometimes it takes a while to get called for a show, Mrs. Goldfarb. Tyrone drives, tight on the tuner. The radio plays alt rock. Shit, this heater's just fine. I guess this ain't gonna be such a bad trip. Yeah, it's no big thing. He checks the odometer. We's 100 miles closer to Miami, Jim. Let's stop at the next pit and get a taste. Yeah, better drop a few Dexies too and get some coffee. Right on. Malin and Block reception area. A crowd watches Sarah babble. 2 paramedics arrive. To his partner. Looks like shock. To Sarah. Can you walk? I'm walking across the stage and you should see my herald on television. We're going to give the prizes away. I just want to be on television. Do you know your name? We think it's Sarah Goldfarb. The announcer is calling my Little Red Riding Hood. Call Seymour and tell him to pick me up at the beauty parlor. I've got the red dress I wore at Harry's graduation and the gold shoes. Okay, Mrs. Goldfarb, let's just take it nice and easy. Here we go. And the paramedics help poor Sarah to her feet. They head to the elevator. Sympathy from the staring office woman. Marion, in her apartment, stares at Big Tim's number. A moment later, she picks up the phone and dials. Yeah? Marion hangs up. A long beat, and then she dials again. Yeah? Hi. Big Tim lets go a big laugh. Sarah is strapped to a gurney in a moving ambulance. She mumbles to herself. Oh, Harry, I'm going to be on television. Pontiac Ventura, parked in a Hojo lot. Flick, sizzle, snap, suck, slap, rush, sigh. Tyrone leans against the driver's door, high. Harry rolls up his sleeve. Right in the crotch of his arm is a nasty hole from shooting too much. It's infected, and rings of red surround it. Shit, how long you got that? A few days. That don't look too good, Jim. It don't feel too good either. But a little stuff will take care of that. Don't shoot in there. It'll blow if I don't. Fuck it. Flick, sizzle, snap, suck, slap. Break from the montage. For the first time, we see a tight close-up of a needle going into the hole. Then we end the montage. Rush and sigh. A security camera studies Marion as she waits at the front door of an apartment building entrance. Buzz. Marion pushes the door open and enters. Sarah, on her gurney in the hospital, is pushed through crowded corridors. The noise and chaos reach her in surreal, muffled tones. She's mumbling to herself, dreaming of being on television. Then she's slid into the emergency room. Young, serious Dr. Spencer shines a light into her eyes. Sarah tries to smile. No emergency. Take her to psych. Big Tim's door opens wide, revealing an even wider Big Tim. Big Tim is big in every way. His body is big. His smile is big. His laugh is big. Even his apartment is big. Come in. He steps aside, and Marion enters a huge living room with a grand view of Prospect Park. Big Tim takes her coat. Have a seat. What would you like? Nothing. Oh, you strictly a dope fiend? Marion is startled by Big Tim's comment. She recovers. Oh, maybe I'll have a little chartreuse? Yellow or green? Yellow. Big Tim joins her with the drinks. He takes out a hash pipe and sparks it. Marion is offered it, and she takes a few pokes. What's your name? Marion. Big Tim's laugh is loud, deep, and happy, a presence of its own. What, Maid Marion? I'm Little John. Big Tim pulls Marion into his chest. She lets him. You know what I like the best about Patty chicks? Marion smiles as she relaxes into him. They give good head. Black broads don't know nothing about giving head. I don't know why. Might be it has something to do with ancient tribal customs. Big laugh from Big Tim. He pulls Marion up to him and kisses her. After a beat, she kisses back, and then he backs off. Better save some of that energy. She lies down on his stomach. Gently he turns her head around as he pulls out his penis. She stares at Big Tim's joint, knowing what she's supposed to do, but not being able to do it. Her insides tremble and knot. I know it's pretty, baby, but I didn't take it out for air. He nudges her, and she grabs it and starts kissing it. Suddenly she stops. She's going to be sick. Big Tim laughs his big laugh and points to the bathroom. That way. Marion finishes barfing. She washes her face and mouth in the sink. She looks up at herself. She's trembling. She shuts her eyes and we cut to black. We hear Marion breathe deeply. She collects herself. Into the black rush streams of red. When she opens her eyes, we are back in the bathroom. Marion fixes her hair and smiles at herself. Big Tim laughs as Marion emerges from the bathroom. Sorry, must have been the chartreuse. Welcome back. Marion's smile turns into an eager grin. He chuckles as she gets on her knees. Yeah, little Bo Peep done found her sheep. Big Tim laughs his big laugh as we cut back to the Pontiac Ventura. Tyrone drives while Harry squirms. His arm hurts like hell. Tight on the tuner. The radio plays country and western. I told you to stay away from that arm, man. I gotta call Marion. Tyrone watches the odometer change from 599 to 600. Well, it'll be long distance now. That's 600. We 600 damn miles closer to Miami. Yeah, we're also 600 miles away from New York. Afraid now, Tyrone looks out the window. The landscape is foreign and strange, almost alien. After sex, Big Tim opens the door to his bathroom and leans up against the doorway. Naked, he watches Marion as she finishes getting dressed. Marion can't look at herself in the mirror or at Big Tim. You know, baby, I can fix it so you can pick up a real nice taste. Though it's more like play, baby. Sunday night we're having a gathering. All good people. No, I couldn't. I'm busy. And, I'm not really hooked. Big Tim laughs his big laugh and tosses her some bags. Yeah, I know, but I'm telling you, it's a real nice taste. Marion quickly grabs the bags and starts putting them in her purse. What the fuck you doing? Nothing, Damn, I got some kind of virgin. Now you gotta be kidding old Tim, you just gotta be. I don't know. You mean you're not gonna count what's there? But you're just gonna be putting it in your pocketbook and walk down the street? Damn, you sure haven't been around long, baby. I'm not exactly a naive schoolgirl. I've been through all of Europe and I'm just not... Shit, ain't nothing to be ashamed of, baby. We all gotta get down with it for the first time. I ain't bad rapping you. I just don't want to see you get ripped off. Shit. You earned that, baby. And sure as hell don't want to donate it to some purse snatcher. He laughs. Marion smiles. Look it. There'll be one place you can stash old Doogie without you worrying about it accidentally getting in the wrong hands, you dig? Ain't no purse snatcher or mugger gonna rip you off there, baby. As Marion catches on, she flushes and nods her head. Big Tim laughs his big laugh as he wanders into the living room. "I'll see you Sunday, Maid Marian." Then Marian lifts up her skirt and does the deed. Sarah is strapped to a hospital bed. She sobs to herself. The gray ward is packed with twice as many beds as there should be. Patients wander around in straitjackets. Screams of agony and pain barely reach her ears. Dr. Spencer addresses Sarah and tries to calm her. "Mrs. Goldfarb, please try and answer me. When did you start taking the pills?" "When? The summer. I got a special place in the sun. Ada fixed my hair." "You started in the summer, last summer? Okay, Mrs. Goldfarb, everything will be all right. We'll fix you up in no time." "You're a good boy, Harold." And for a moment, Dr. Spencer is Harry, golden smile and all. We look down on Marian's back from above the tub. She's bent over, her head beneath the water between her knees. She holds her breath for an eternity. Then we look into her face as she screams. Air bubbles shoot to the surface. Tyrone still drives. There's a preacher screaming gospel on the radio. Harry squirms as he grabs his arm. He's wincing in pain. "Man, I can't cut it. I gotta do something about this arm. Let's see what it looks like." Harry winces as he's very carefully rolling up his sleeve. The area around the hole is white and raised. Even worse, the area around the white is slightly green. Also, a wide, dark red streak reaches down his arm towards his hand. They both stare at it for a moment. "Oh, man. Shit, that'd have to be the ugliest motherfucker I've ever seen. I gotta call Marian. Let's try to find a hospital first." A needle punctures Sarah's arm in the psych ward. The nurse wipes off the blood that spills out. In a surreal moment, the world slows down real slow. Sarah's tongue sticks to the top of her mouth. She pries it off with a rattling smack in her brain. Her mouth is dry, and small drops of foam form on the side of her chapped lips. To try and disperse the pain, Harry marches around the doctor's examination room. The pain is excruciating. A gray-haired southern doctor comes in. "What's the problem?" "My arm, it's killing me." The doctor looks for a moment. Then he grabs Harry's arm and looks at it. Harry winces in pain. "I'll be back in a minute." The doctor leaves. Marian's apartment. Marian stares at an empty pile of bags in front of her. Then she stares at the photo of her and Harry in front of the store. Next, she flips it over and looks at Big Tim's number. A moment later, she picks it up and dials Big Tim. "Yeah?" "Hi." Big Tim lets go a big laugh. The two male attendants enter the psych ward with a tray of food. They joke with each other and barely notice Sarah. They try to lift Sarah up, but she can't support herself. Then they try harder, and they shove her into a sitting position. One of the attendants puts some food in her mouth. She tries to swallow, but her throat isn't working. "Swallow," in slow motion. But the food just dribbles out the side. As they continue their conversation about the jets, they grab her and force the food down her throat by holding her nose and keeping her mouth shut. Her eyes blast open in terror. Her head beats thunderously in her ears. Marian puts mascara on her left eye. Then she puts on some clothes. Tyrone flips through an old copy of Fortune magazine. He tries to ignore all the white folks gawking at him. Then he spots a pair of boots standing in front of him. Next, he spots a gun and a baton. Tyrone looks up to a towering highway cop's stern glare. Cuffs one wrist, cuffed the other. Tight on Marian's right eye as she carefully applies mascara. She puts on some more clothes. Dr. Spencer towers over Sarah. He reads her chart and is concerned. "You have to eat, Mrs. Goldfarb. If we're going to get you healthy again, you have to eat. Try to work with the attendants. I'm going to try some new medications. They should help us." He pats her on the shoulder and walks away. Sarah tries to call for him, to make any noise, to plead, or do anything, but she can't. A moment later, the 2 male attendants come for her. They grab her and move her into a wheelchair. Restraints for her arms and legs are slapped on. They grab a clear plastic tube. They cover it with lubricant. Then they try to slide it down her nose. Sarah struggles until one attendant grabs her head and whacks it flat against a headrest. "Okay, miss, just relax. We're going to try to help you eat." Pinned, they slide the tube into Sarah's nose, down her throat, and into her stomach. Then the feeding begins. Tight on Marion's lips as she puts on lipstick, Marion smacks her lips together. Marion, in front of the full-length mirror, is dressed to the hilt. She makes last-minute corrections to her outfit when the phone rings. Nervous, she answers. "Hello?" Southern Jail payphone area. Harry is in pain on the telephone. Marion sits by the phone. "Marion." "Harry, oh Harry." "Oh, Marion, I've been thinking about you. Are you okay?" "When are you coming back?" "Soon." "You're holding out, right?" "When?" "Soon. Everything's going to be all right." "Will you come today?" "Yeah, soon. Just wait for me. I'll be back soon. You'll wait, right?" Marion doesn't answer. She closes her eyes. "Marion?" "Yeah? Just wait." "I will, Harry." "I'm coming, Marion. I am. I'm coming. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry." "I know, Harry. I know." A long beat, and then silence. Slowly Marion hangs up. Harry hangs up. His sobs turn into pain. Pain turns into misery. Marion hangs up and wipes away her tears. She catches her image in the mirror and quickly finishes her mascara. Then, crinkle, sprinkle, fleck, drift, suck, and sigh. Sarah is still strapped to the wheelchair. Dr. Spencer smiles at her. "Mrs. Goldfarb, are you all right?" Sarah can't respond. She can only look. Dr. Spencer tries to be positive. Mrs. Goldfarb, we've tried several medications, and you don't seem to be responding. I believe we've come to a point where we need to try some alternative methods. We've had some excellent results with these techniques in the past, so if I can just get your John Hancock, we'll get underway. Dr. Spencer hands Sarah a pen. Somehow she is able to sign. Harry is withdrawing in pain on his bunk. Tyrone is at the bars, sweating and dying. "Jesus Christ, I need a doctor." "My friend needs a doctor. Please, he needs a doctor." "I won't make it." "Just hang tough, baby. Just hang tough." "Please, please, Ma, help me." "Help, please. Please, Ma." Sarah is quickly unstrapped from her wheelchair. She's lifted up and placed onto a gurney. Her head hangs lifeless. Then she's strapped down. Tight on Marion's hand knocking on Big Tim's front door. Tight on Big Tim's famous smile. "Maid Marion, welcome." Sarah is wheeled quickly through the halls of the asylum. Tyrone tries to keep Harry in line with all the convicts, but Harry can barely stand. A court doctor, followed by 2 guards, moves from prisoner to prisoner. Bored to death, he looks into each prisoner's eyes with a mini-mag and says, "Can you hear me? Can you see me?" Each prisoner responds, "Yes, sir." The doctor checks a box on a piece of paper. "Okay for work." The guards chuckle. Sarah continues her trip on the gurney. Terror enters her heart. Now it's Tyrone's turn. "Can you hear me? Can you see me?" Tyrone nods. That isn't good enough, so the guard whacks him in the back of the head. "Say, sir, nigga." Goddamn New York dope fiend niggas. Learn some manners. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Yes, sir. Good boy. They chuckle. The doctor moves down to Harry. Harry can barely stand. His eyes are glazed over. Can you hear me? Can you see me? He says he's got something wrong with his arm. The doctor yanks Harry's sleeve up. Lightning pain. Ma! Harry collapses. The guards laugh at him as they pick him up. Your mommy isn't here. The doctor looks at Harry's arm. The guards grab their noses and almost yak from the smell. I don't think you'll be putting any more dope in that arm. Damn, it smells worse than he do. Better get him over to the hospital. I don't expect he'll live out the week. Sarah is unstrapped from the gurney. Then she is lifted off the gurney and laid on a table. Next, she is strapped to the table. She tries to struggle, but the hands are many, too strong. Big Tim's lush pad. We hear 20 men cheer as we glimpse into the room. They're all wearing suits and holding flashlights. Tight on Marion's shocked face. Tight on Big Tim's knowing smile. Tight on cigars in the strangers' mouths. Tight on male hands clapping. Tight on empty faces of 5 other pretty women checking out Marion. Big Tim whispers to her, There'll be 6 of you cutting up an entire piece. Marion looks at him, and it'll be real good. Marion accepts it, and then, tight on Big Tim's famous smile. Showtime. The men shine their light on Marion's clothed tits, her privates. Back in the psych ward, someone sticks something between Sarah's teeth. The people around her talk casually and laugh occasionally. She tries to look around, but her body is immobile. She can make out shadows on the edges of her vision, but mostly all she sees are the lights above her. Then she feels 2 cold metal discs placed against her temples. Harry is thrown onto an operating table in an emergency room. His clothes are gone in the blink of an eye. A serious and focused emergency doctor steps in. We're taking it off at the shoulder. Let's move here, people, otherwise we'll lose him. Harry remains semi-conscious as an anesthesiologist sticks a mask over his face. Everything starts to go white. The emergency doctor starts up a circular saw. Before everything is gone, Harry witnesses the doctor cutting into his shoulder. Sarah's heart pounds in her ears. She tries to scream, but a technician interrupts her. Okay, ready, and 1. We hear a crowd cheer. Blinding primary red. In slow motion and tight close-ups, we experience the orgy with Marion. There's nipples, tongues, sex toys, eyes closed in ecstasy, men's glares, men's smiles, and the like. The images aren't sexy, they're scary. One of the girls holds up a double-headed dildo and says, What should we do now? A pervert screams out, Ass to ass! Marion complies and the flashlights shine. Then the perverts start a chant, Come, come! The other men join in as the pace quickens, building in pace and volume. Come, come, come! Marion is at first afraid. Then she closes her eyes. Her lip starts to quiver. Big Tim's smile gets wider and wider, and then Marion comes. Sarah's arched and stiffening body looks as if fire has just shot through her body. Her eyes are almost popping out of her head as her mind screams. She settles for a moment on the table. Her heart does not beat, her lungs do not breathe. A moment later, the breath returns. Then the heartbeat slowly emerges. And then the technician... Okay, ready? And 2. Primary red. A crowd cheers. Primary blue. And then once again Sarah tries to scream in pain. Flames seem to sear every cell of her body. and her bones feel like they are being twisted and crushed. Smoke simmers off her hair and skin. As her body settles, it happens one last time. Okay, ready, and 3. Primary blue. The crowd cheers once more. The Coney Island pier stretches off into the beautiful sea. A woman in a red dress walks a baby carriage. Now we're on Harry, looking healthy and vibrant. He screams for Marion, but she doesn't hear him, and she keeps walking. He runs after them. When we get close, he suddenly stops. Marion turns around. He reaches to hug her. But as we go in, it turns black. Harry gets terrified. He starts to scream for Marion. Marion? Marion! He steps backwards off the edge of a cliff and rushes headfirst into a concrete sidewalk as he screams for Marion. And we cut back to the hospital room. An angelic nurse looks down upon Harry. Tubes stick into every part of him. His eyes are half open. She wipes the sweat from his brow. Marion? It's all right, don't worry. You're in a hospital, and you're going to be just fine. Marion? Who's that? She'll be sent for. She'll come. She loves you, and she'll come. Then Harry opens his eyes fully. For a moment he understands. He is an adult, and he is calm. No. No? No, she won't. She'll come. No, she won't. And then Harry starts to cry. As we float up high above his bed, we watch him curl into a ball. Tyrone drills holes in a jail machine shop with an oversized machine. He dry heaves and fights to stay in his seat. A guard snickers at him. At the foot of Marion's couch are the torn and smeared sketches of Marion's designs. Marion comes in through the front door. She walks across the sketches and sits on the couch. She has lipstick smeared across her face. She pulls out a large bag of dope and stares at it. Happily, she fondles the bag, and then she hugs it tight against her bosom. Slowly, she curls up into a fetal position, content. The work gang collapses into their individual bunks. Tyrone, sweaty and dirty, does the same. He fights the cramps in his stomach for as long as he can until he passes out. Then, Tyrone and his bed dissolve into the past. Young Tyrone rests in his mother's generous arms. Finally, it is peaceful. Tyrone's mom brushes the tears from his eyes. How's your tummy feel? It's mostly gone, Mama. I don't need no more medicine. That's my big boy. He looks up at his mom as she starts to sing Hush Little Baby. Your breath be all nice and sweet, Mommy. She hugs her son tight. The sweetness be in you, child. The sweetness be in you. Ada and Ray are sitting in the corner of the psych ward visiting room, stunned by their surroundings. Mounted on the wall is a television. Tappy Tibbins is on. No one is watching. Sarah shuffles towards them, and they barely recognize her. Her gray roots match her gray skin, which matches her gray gown. Ada starts taking food out of a large shopping bag. We got some lox and cream cheese and bagels, and blintzes with sour cream, and some danishes and pastrami, chopped liver on rye with mustard and onions, and container of tea, and how are you, Dolly? But Sarah doesn't answer. She can't. They put their hands on their friend's shoulders, but nothing seems to reach her. Then they notice water is dripping down Sarah's leg and onto the floor. Sarah has urinated on herself. Ada and Ray sit waiting for a bus on a gray day in front of a gray building. Tears flow from their eyes. They hug each other. Sarah lies on her bed. A tiny smile emerges on her face. We get closer and closer to her until we go into the blackness of her pupil. Deep in the blackness, we see another world. It is a world of primary blue. Sucking us into the blue is the roar of a crowd. And there, with a giant smile, is good old Tappy in black tie. He looks into the camera and says, "And our next winner is that delightful personality straight from Brighton Beach, Brooklyn. Please give a juicy welcome to Mrs. Goldfarb." Red Sarah steps out and joins Tappy. She's overwhelmed. "Juice by Sarah! Juice by Sarah! Oh, Sarah's got juice!" "And Mrs. Goldfarb, that's not it. I'm delighted to tell you that you've just won a grand prize." "Really?" "Yes, how does it feel?" "It feels great. I feel wonderful. I feel amazing. This is great." The crowd goes crazy. They love it. And they start to chant, "We love Sarah! We love Sarah!" The chant continues. "They love you, Sarah." "I love them. Oh, I love them." "Now let me show you what you've won. Your prize has a sweet smile and his own private business. He just got engaged, and he's planning to get married this summer. Will you please give a juicy welcome to Mrs. Sarah Goldfarb's one and only son, Harry Goldfarb." Harry walks out from the back. The audience are out of their seats, screaming at the top of their lungs. Sarah is gushing. "Juice by Harry! Juice by Harry! Oh, Harry's got juice!" Harry walks out and hugs his mother. "Oh, Harry, I love you, Harry." "I love you too, Ma." They hug and they hug as the audience screams their applause. A smile fills Sarah's beautiful face. Happiness, total and complete love. Except for the truth, the nagging reality. It means tears for Sarah, and her sparkling eyes well up with fantastic, warm tears, but they don't damage her glorious smile. Fade to black. Well, that is hands down the most depressing movie I've ever read on the channel, but someone did suggest it. If you've got a movie, hopefully a little bit more cheery and fun than this one, leave it in the comments below. I'm not saying every movie has to be happy, but I'm sure you guys agree that that is definitely depressing. Okay guys, I'll see you in the next video.